The prospect Donald Trump using powers of presidency as tool punishment has raised possibility that Congress will launch a bipartisan effort to tighten data American federal investigators can search without warrant. Donald Trump had publicly said in recent weeks that he wanted to be a dictator for a day and that he would root out the radical left thugs living like vermin within the borders of our country. Some Democrats in Congress are taking Trump at his word, adding new urgency long-running efforts to overhaul the controversial spying program authorized under Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which allows intelligence agencies collect records of overseas communications, suspected terrorists and foreign intelligence agents. Civil liberties advocates have been pushing for years to prevent the FBI from searching this trove of data for Americans' records without a warrant. The FBI has repeatedly admitted to breaking its own rules and conducting improper searches. The current law under Section 702 is set to expire in April after the House and Senate this week approved a short-term extension under the National Defense Authorization Act. This opens a window early next year for lawmakers to debate meaningful changes to the FISA law. This week, House Speaker Mike Johnson canceled a vote on a pair of FISA bills due to disagreements over the program's future. The FBI currently runs about 200,000 queries against that database each year and has used it to check on members of Black Lives Matter movement and people being investigated in the Jan. 6. 2021 insurrection cases. According to court documents declassified by office earlier this year, Director of National Intelligence, failures to protect Americans' data from such searches have brought together an unlikely coalition of lawmakers to close loopholes and tighten Congress' grip on surveillance authority. Abuses of Section 702 have occurred under presidents of both parties, says Chris Baumohl, a national security and intelligence surveillance law expert at the Electronic Privacy Information Center. That's why there's a grand bipartisan coalition to reform it. Although some Democrats in Congress have long supported putting more barriers to FISA, the prospect of Trump returning to the Oval Office in 2025 has intensified those efforts. There's no doubt in my mind that if he gets re-elected, he'll be 2-3 times as bad as last time. Some Republicans have their own motivations for wanting to revisit other authorities the FBI has under FISA. This extends to the FBI's sloppy work investigating connections between Trump's 2016 campaign and Russian intelligence officials. That investigation let FBI use a different part of FISA to wiretap the phones of oil industry consultant Carter Page, who served as a foreign policy advisor Trump campaign. But Bureau's reasoning to the FISA court was that surveillance contained errors and information gleaned from press reports and resear.